Alright, hey guys, it's Gulius. Today I'm going to be recording a pub game and doing a cast for it. Let me turn down the in-game volume just a little bit. Maybe I should have turned off the casters, but that Rick and Morty set is just too good. So this is a game that my friend played. He's actually playing as the Ember Spirit, and so I'm going to cast this game and hopefully you guys like it. So we've got Radiant vs Dire. This is just a regular pub. We've got Ember Spirit going probably to the mid lane. We've got Ogre Magi, Nature's Prophet, CK on bot, and our off lane is going to be our Darkseer. On the top lane for the Dire side, we have Tender Meat on the Spectre. We have Funny Arimpa on the Shadow Demon, probably going to be supporting top. We have Death Prophet, which is Confisery, and Mike Lowry on Leshrac. That's a dirty job playing Leshrac in 6.85. And we have Windranger on Moosh Kid. Let me see if I can turn off the announcer real quick. Can I do that? Can I do that? Does not appear to do so. Or whatever. We'll fix it for next time. So, this game should be about mid 4K. That's about where my friend is. So, let's get right into it. It looks like Ember is going to contest the rune, but Spectre's already there. They've got 4 actually at the top rune, so they're going to claim top, and Radiant is going to claim that bot rune. Windrunner has placed a nice little ward here blocking the camp, and that is going to also block the large camp for the Radiant jungle. That is the classic double ward spot, the magic bush. So Windranger should have a pretty good time in the offlane. Skilled that Windrun level 1, so she's going to be just fine. Unless Ogre gets a big slow against her and gets a lot of right clicks, she should be just okay. Even if CK gets an amazing stun, not going to happen for her. In the mid lane, DP with her recent buffs to her ghosts should maybe make her a little bit stronger pushing early game, but we'll see how Ember Spirit racks up against her. With his Flame Guard, still should do pretty well in the lane. I expect this to be pretty even. Let's look at last hits and denies. On the top, we got a tri-lane up against the Darkseer. He's almost level 2, actually, and getting that level 2 is pretty much all you need. It looked like he was going to try and pull here against the Shadow Demon, but not managing to get it off, just throwing an Iron Shell in the wave. That means Leshrac is actually going to be in a support position, while we do have the DP taking middle. So we'll see how the support Leshrac works out, and Shadow Demon just zoning out the Darkseer, doing exactly what he needs to do in this situation. What Darkseer actually should consider is going into double Ion Shelling the wave so it pushes up faster, and then the wave will push back. So, just a thought for them to do. We have Nature's Prophet in the jungle, starting with 2 Clarities and a Robe of the Magi, just doing some jungling up there. Leshrac's just sitting in the trees, AFK, not doing any pulling or anything. Right now in the mid lane, we have Death Prophet 3 for 4 and 4 for 3 on the Ember, so very even there. Windrunner getting a lot of experience right now, almost level 3, as compared to Darkseer, who's been completely zoned out, hasn't got that key level 2. Hoping for a bounty rune probably on the top so he can get that level 2 and get the surge so he can stay alive much easier. Chaos Knight, the top of the farming charts, with Windrunner just behind, actually. So she is having the time of her life down here. She is just fine. She is not at risk of dying at all, really. Unless the Prophet comes in with a Sprout and a couple of levels, she'll be a-okay. Darkseer did get that bounty rune, gets level 2. He really should be looking to double Ion Shell these creep waves and either really punish the Spectre in terms of HP or let the tower take damage. That's what Darkseer needs to do here, because otherwise Shadow Demon is still going to keep zoning him out, and until the creep wave actually gets down to his tower, he's not going to get much. Unlike here, we see Chaos Knight actually going in on the Windranger, getting a nice crit there, doing some decent damage, but she's still getting stuff, while Prophet TP's into the mid and snipes that courier. Has no way to leave, really, so he's just going to kill the creep wave with his Trents. But Death Prophet, she already has her bottle, so not a huge deal. She might have to go back once if she doesn't have rune control, but she should be just okay. Actually, Prophet going in, doing a right click, and they actually want to dive here. Here comes Ember Spirit. Are they actually going to be able to get this kill? There's a TP support coming in from Shadow Demon. They could look to turn this around with maybe a Crypt Swarm there onto... No, they're going to actually disrupt the Nature's Prophet and just try to get her out of there safely. It is not close to the 4-minute rune, so no runes are spawning yet, but Death Prophet actually in quite some trouble here, and with the slow from Ogre Magi coming in, she is the first blood, she is dead. Darkseer, however, coming in on the top, He has a Ion Shell on himself now. He is getting lightninged up by Leshrac, but that lightning is not as strong as it used to be. So he's going to be able to survive. And see, he has the double Ion Shell now, and that really pressures Spectre and Lesh. They either have to commit hard or they have to really stay back, and that double Ion Shell is just going to be very dangerous. Now there wasn't a great place to put it on because the tower is going to kill those 2 creeps first. So you want to Ion Shell the creep that's not going to be directly attacked by the tower. So CK is starting to pull ahead a little bit of Spectre for that farm due to him not having any harass from the Windrunner. Sure, the Windrunner got the experience off the bat, but she's been harassed out now by some right clicks and stuns, while the Darkseer is now starting to catch up in XP. So he's almost level 4, Windrunner halfway through, so she's still ahead, actually by a significant amount. Nature's Prophet comes in for the rune, does get it. It's just an illusion though, so nothing really happens. Shadow Demon just going to disrupt and run away. Ember Spirit looking for that bottom rune. However, it's already been taken, presumably by Death Prophet. Windrainer's actually going to come down and contest, and just running down faster to get to the bot lane. As of right now, CK doesn't show us what he's going for, just going into the standard treads. Spectre, I assume, is going to be rushing maybe even a completely naked Relic. She doesn't have boots yet, and she's got 1,300 gold, so it could be looking to just go rush right for that Relic. And if she gets it fast enough, I mean, it could pay off. I still think brown boots is the way to go, at least. Just because, unless you're farming the lane for that long of a time, it's usually going to be worth it to have that extra move speed. And it helps escape ganks as well with your Spectral Dagger into the trees and stuff like that. Especially against Nature's Prophet, you're going to want to just Spectral Dagger right through the sprout. We do have a conflict breaking out here. Disruption going on to, who is that? That's Ogre Magi. He's quite tanky, though. They are trying to right-click him down, but no damage amp coming out on him, so he's just okay with the Ion Shell. But he is going to actually get daggered and go down to the right clicks of Lesh. And Darkseer's going to have to make his way out. He surges and runs away. He'll be just fine. So, a 1-for-1 total score as of right now. We have level 5 on the Spectre, almost level 6. CK just hit his level 6, opting not to get his ultimate. I would actually agree with this move. Your stun and Reality Rift at this point is just very heavy on the mana. And without... Oh, he actually goes in for a stun and some right clicks. No crits just yet, so he's doing a little bit of harass, but he might actually have to go back to base and could risk dying to a power shot from Windrun right now if she has the mana. She does, but she doesn't want to commit. Ogre Magi coming in to back up CK, and they could look to turn it on her. If they have enough mana, CK can't really come up. He doesn't have enough, and he's at risk of dying, so not going to be worth it for him. Mid lane, a little bit of action. Shadow Demon walking past Ember Spirit. Ember actually wants to go into DP, who's more than ready for him. Shadow Demon coming around the side. Opted for Shadow Poison over Soul Catcher. Definitely a mistake unless it was at a certain point he needed that extra damage or he needed to scout something desperately. You're always going to want to get that Soul Catcher damage amp instead. Looking at the last hit, our 2 carries are still on top. Ember Spirit is falling quite behind DP, which is actually kind of concerning for me right now. Death Prophet could be looking to start snowballing. Even though she died that one time, her net worth is slightly higher. She could be looking to go into a Yules or maybe a Mechanism. Don't really have any other natural mech carriers on their team, so she might be looking to do just that. Haven't seen Death Prophet in a long time, so it's kind of hard to think about where she's going to go in terms of her build. There are always the standard items, you know, like Mechanism, Phase Boots. A Yules has often been... has recently been popular on her, but things like Shiva and Heart, making her really tanky so she can stay alive for those spirits, and using herself while spirited, so that way she doesn't take damage while her spirits just destroy everybody else. Shadow Demon still harassing back the Darkseer. Darkseer, though, he can actually stand up to it pretty well now, and lots of pings coming out from Shadow Demon on the Leshrac, who is very displeased with his teammates' performance. Ogre Magi running at the Windrunner and starting to get some right clicks in, but she'll just Windrun away. She's fine. If she gets stunned by CK, though, if it's a higher damage stun, she could go down to one of the big crits from CK. Looks like he's going to go into an Armlet. I think it's a good choice. Maybe Drums would also be good, but Armlet, if you're good with Armlet toggling, which obviously isn't as important as it used to be, still a very good thing to do. We have a 2-on-1 in the river here, but Death Prophet with a haste rune, full bottle, and her ultimate. She's actually going to turn this around. Who's she going to choose to go on? It is the Ember Spirit. He does chains her up, and he's just going to go down to the ghosties if he doesn't be careful. He does go down. Sprout not going to be enough to save it, and Ogre could definitely go down here as well. If she just gets a Crypt Swarm off, she could, and Spectre ultimate comes in as well. She doesn't even need to waste her mana on that Crypt Swarm. And we finally have an engagement down here. CK stunning on Windrunner, who already got her Windrun off, sorry. And she has Phase Boots as well, so she's faster than Chaos Knight. She can run away quite fast. With the recent buff to Phase Boots, she's going to have the extra burst of speed she needs to get away. Not as good as on ranged heroes as it is on melee, but still quite good. And let's see what's happening top. Spectre getting harassed. He chose not to go for that Radiance Rush. Oh, they are TPing in, actually, onto him. Are they going to get that with the Sprout? No, he has a Quelling Blade. He's just going to get away quite easily. And during that time, of course, Chaos Knight finally gets the kill when I'm looking elsewhere. We do have a big engagement coming up top that I've missed, of course, and Spectre goes down to the team of the Radiant. Looks like Nature's Prophet ultimate bouncing through there. And Darkseer might go down to a right click from Shadow Demon or two, and it's a Crypt Swarm actually coming in from the bottom from Death Prophet. Death Prophet now chasing after Nature's Prophet. We got all the Prophets in this game. And just going to right click though, but it is Ember Spirit coming in. Shackles up the, I'm sorry, not Shackles. Chains up the Leshrac, but not able to finish that up. Both teams kind of skittish about fully committing to an engagement here. While CK is happy to farm and push the bottom lane, I'm going to switch this over to net worth, and so we can see how everybody is doing in that department. Now we're starting to get some kills coming in, and maybe towers even soon as well. So we have DP and CK leading the way, respectively. CK doing pretty well in the spot lane. His farm is pretty strong. However, we have DP getting gone on, actually it's Spectre gone on middle from the Ember Spirit, uses his Remnant to blow her up, and she does die. So she's now going back for treads, feeling the heat and the pressure on her from the other team. Darkseer, oh, that right click from Shadow Demon gets him. However, Prophet is sprouted within the range of the tier 1 tower, so it could go down to that last right click. Yes, he does. Shadow Demon got 2 stacks of poison up on Prophet. That's not going to be enough to kill him unless he's maxing the poison, which he actually is. One more stack of poison would definitely kill him here. No, not going to hit. Very close, though. Very close. When that poison gets to 4, 5, 6, it really deals a lot of damage. CK going to go in on Lesh. Hits a 3-second stun, but actually gets Shackled. The Shackle does not connect, but he's still going to be careful here. They're going to start turning on him with all this magic burst. Leshrac still does a lot of damage, even though it's not as much as before. But the Armlet is going to come in, giving that little bit of extra survivability. Spectre also comes in as well with the Haunt, and Ogre Magi pops up the slow onto Windrunner, who decides to turn around and shackle him, but CK still running away with the Armlet toggle. Very nicely done. The Orb Venom not able to finish him off, but Ogre Magi goes down in the background, and CK goes down in the end, so they both end up dying. Ogre trying to sacrifice himself for CK, but doesn't work out. Ember Spirit actually here getting scouted out by the Dire Ward at the bottom rune, but they're not going to be able to chase him. Trubs, my boy, what are you going to do here? What are you going to do? This was not a game he gave me. I just picked up a random friend's replay. So he might do total trash play. And that would just be hilarious. Moo Kid got his phase and null. Perhaps a Force Staff this game to get out of the Sprouts later on might be really helpful. As well as saving people like Spectre. Alright, so the DP ultimate goes down and they take out the tier 1 tower. That's expected with a Death Prophet. I mean, there's not really much you can do. You can keep him down, but at a certain point that is going to happen. Kind of like with the DK. Just they're going to pop their ultimate, they're going to kill your tower. Or Windrunner even mid. That's just what's going to happen. The hero is meant to do that. She goes for Arcane Boots, kind of interesting. I'm probably going to go for a Bloodstone as well. So going for lots of regen, lots of spam. And that's what she's looking to. Actually, switches out for a Soul Booster, so she might just leave these brown or go for phase later if she chooses to do so. But right now, looking to rush up that Bloodstone. Spectre, let's see how your farm is. Not looking so hot. Did go back for the Treads and the Ring of Health and the Umbra Venom. But before I talk about that, we do have a fight breaking out middle. My camera work being terrible. Spectre's build is interesting. Chose to go for... Originally had 1,300 gold pulled up, then went back for the Ring of Health, Orb of Venom, and Treads now. So she's really spent a lot of time getting all these items up, and her relic's going to be very delayed if she chooses to go that route. CK, 1 versus 4 in the river, gets stunned. The Shackle did not collect, but the Soul Catcher easily going to finish him off. Prophet ultimate bouncing through does a lot of damage, but not enough for any of the rest of the heroes to follow through. Prophet himself, however, just throws out a right click. Not going to do much. He actually goes for an old school build we saw, I believe, back around TI4, or the time right after TI4 with the Blade Mail build. People got, they usually went phase, Blade Mail, and then 2 Null Talismans, and that would really give you a lot of early fighting. So this Prophet is looking to fight early. And that's going to happen with Death Prophet coming and pushing down all your towers. and they're just creating more room for Spectre. So even though her farm wasn't great, and she bought these extra items, I don't like the Orb of Venom personally. I think it's just, you don't need to buy it. They're still making space for the Spectre. Looks like a trade's going to come out. Radiant going for the middle tier 1 with Prophet, and Death Prophet is actually going to, I should not say Prophet, because they both have a Prophet. She doesn't even need to pop her ult here, but she might have to with an engagement. Wow, that Shadow Demon just got deleted off the map. CK coming in, he is angry, he's going for Death Prophet. Looks like he will have the stun up in just 2 seconds. So whoever he gets on with that Ion Shell is going to take a lot of damage, but the Spectre ult comes in, as well as Death Prophet ultimate, and they just silenced up CK, because he could really go down to the Leshrac Burst as well. Wow, they cleaned them up fast. A lot of damage coming out, and that is looking pretty bad for the Radiant. Darkseer going to surge away, and he's okay. Ogre Magi is buddy there to back him up. Ember Spirit, do not. Just don't. This is gonna kill you. This is death. This looks like death. Move my mic back a little bit. Looks like I might be clipping. So they just popped the Death Prophet ultimate. It's now level 2. I think she got it after she popped it this time though. It's now level 2, and she is gonna be ready to go. She's gonna be a threat now. She's gonna have that Bloodstone pretty soon. Just needs a little bit more gold for the recipe, and she'll be ready. Ember Spirit farming. They're converging. The Dire are coming in to kill this Ember Spirit, who does not have any remnants out currently, so he's in a bit of a state of emergency, but Windrunner does not get down there for the Shackle. And surprisingly enough, instead of waiting for a Force Staff... Oh, and he walks right into it. That is just inconvenient. Sorry, friend. So CK has this armlet, but not much progression past that. We've seen the net worth for DP skyrocket, and Spectre has been able to farm as well. Prophet going for an Ags maybe? Looking to rat heavy, Alliance style. Interesting Ogre, maxed Ignite. It's good. I think maxing Fire Blast is better because it combos with your ultimate much nicer. Spectre with an invisibility, going to be looking to scout out maybe for Prophet. No, just going to right-click the creeps. He's got his back with his teammates here, ready to help him. CK back to farming on bottom. The downside to both of the team's carries here is that they're both extremely slow farmers. They have no flash farm abilities, but once Spectre gets that Radiance, that will allow her to farm much faster than the CK. She's 1,000 gold away from Relic. She'll be there probably around... she'll probably get her Relic around 20 minutes, and then around 22, probably have her Radiance ready. So I'd expect a Radiance by 21, 22 minutes.
Oh, geez, Morty, they're going after Tire's bottom tower.
Windrunner looking for a Shackle on the Ember Spirit. It is going to latch. Wow, that's far on the tree. But the rest of the team can't catch up. Windrunner's too fast. She popped her Windrun and Phase, so they can't catch up. Prophet and CK do take the bottom tower in that time, but it looks like the Dire might look to trade, get their own tier 1. But Ogre Magi spamming it out with his max Ignite is going to do work. As long as he doesn't get caught out, he might be able to fend off this push for a little bit, especially if it multicasts. But they're pushing a tier 2 bottom. CK and Prophet are doing damage to this tower. And actually, Boots of Travel first come in right away on the Shadow Demon, disrupts himself. He's probably going to go down here. There's no way he's getting saved. He purges the CK, but that really does absolutely nothing. They're going to take down this tier 2. It's actually a really nice play here from the Radiant, and Death Prophet TPing. If they get a stun, Spectre ultimate goes out as well, and Death Prophet with the spirits flying around. Spectre comes in already at low health, but they really can't turn on her just yet. Prophet right-clicking, but Spectre runs away into the trees with the Spectral Dagger. The Ignite burning her down, but the Remnant in from Ember Spirit. The Sleight of Fist does not connect, and she survives. It looks like they have to just run away now. Ember Spirit is out of there. Chaos Knight, luckily, as well as Armlet, keeping him alive. Let's see if Ember is going to make it out. He is okay. He did go for the Boots first. Boots of Travel first. It's a Arteezy-inspired build. Usually better if you're dominating or if you're really good at flash farming. But he seems to be doing okay. He's doing okay for this level of play. We have Darkseer now with a Blink Dagger. Decided to go for that first over a Mechanism. Interestingly enough, yeah, Ogre's not going to get it this game. He's not farming. He's not getting those lucky multicast kills. He's not really what his build went for either, so he's not going to go for that. So Darkseer should pick up the Mechanism. We'll see if he actually does that. And he transitions very well into Guardian Greaves as well. Alright, so I tried to bring it back to where I left off. I actually had to run downstairs and help my dad. He got a gash in his face. He was working in the garage. Something fell, so I had to go help him out. But anyway, so we can go back to the game now. We have a gank coming out on Ember Spirit, but he's going to Remnant away right into the arms of Leshrac, though. If he gets the stun off, He does not. He's actually afraid with the shackles on him. He does start the stun as a precautionary measure, but the Darkseer going to blink forward with the Ion Shell and finish him off with the vacuum. And he's sad. Sad boys. Wind Ranger going for Wind Ranger, not Runner, or Runger. Actually, we'll talk about that in just a second as Shadow Demon gets gone in the mid and goes down real quick. So we have Windrunner going for the Ags. As an offlaner, I don't really think that's the best option because it's going to be too late before it really becomes effective. And she's not going to have any other damage items with it, and it's not going to be super early. She won't have a blink as well, so it'll be really late. Death Prophet comes out here, gets changed up as well as Reality Rifted back, and she could risk going down here. Does get vacuumed out of the Sprout, but that doesn't matter. She goes down as well. They're going to take the Tier 2, Radiant, pushing forward, looking to go high ground here, perhaps with the encouraging words of the Shrek behind them. They could perhaps start taking a Rax at just 19 minutes into the game. If Lesh spams out this wave, though, he should be able to take it down with relative ease. Ogre comes waddling in, looking to get some multicasts out. Ignite does not multicast, but he's still got that Fire Blast left. Does not have much more mana, though. Soul Ring has already been used. Reality Rift actually comes out from the Chaos Knight, so he's looking to go on this tower. Spectre Ultimate comes in, and the Haunt, who's it going to go on? We got CK pretty low, but the Radiant just fall back unscathed, and Spectre just chills out on the top lane doing some farming. Must have her Relic by now. Let's check. Oh, sorry, I pushed the wrong button. They're actually going to go on to the Ember Spirit, who chains, and oh wow, a nice Darkseer Wall coming in with a Vacuum combo. Going to get the Windrunner? No, she makes it away. And he may actually pay for this with his life. Does get the Shadow Demon, but greedily tried to go after the Windrunner, who was at like 1 HP and just couldn't get the kill. So kind of disappointing he didn't get that. But he tried his best, and that's all we can ask for. Yeah, Ags on this Prophet. What a player. I really don't, you know, Leshrac was calling for the GG. I don't think they're out of it at all. DP did go back for the mechanism before going for the Bloodstone, which I like. I think they need the mechanism to fight. Spectre's not very tanky, especially with this Radiance. Just has a Ring of Health. Probably going to build that into a Vanguard, sorry, or a Heart later on. But really needs just like a Vit booster to keep her alive, or Drums perhaps, because right now she's got 900 HP and 8 armor. The damage coming out from CK primarily can just chop her down, and CK right now is looking pretty strong. Probably going to go for a Sanjin Yasha, I believe, with this Blade of Valkyrie. Could also be a Manta style if he wants to just go for those mass illusions, but I don't think his illusions are going to be tanky enough right now. They do get that armlet buff, and it doesn't drain their HP, which is nice, but other than that, they're not very tanky. Usually you want like a Heart or something before you go into that Manta style. So Spectre picks up that 21-minute Radiance. I was right on with the prediction, which makes me happy. And so, yeah, we'll see if her farm increases that much. The net worth, DP and Spectre are still on top. CK is not up there. Ember Spirit, I expect to see catching up pretty soon with his Boots of Travel. Nature's Prophet running away. Does get the Purge gone out from Shadow Demon. Throws out an ultimate, as well as his Blade Mail doing a lot of damage to the Spectre, who's going to have to just run back. The Ring of Health will regen her up. We're going to see if this Ogre Magi can get some ding 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 lottery on her, but no, the team's there, and they're not going to let that happen. He does throw down a ward on the regular spot, just providing some vision. So Radiant have a nice line of vision right here. I would really like to see this more warded, because this is the area that they're looking to contest. CK goes and gets stunned by Leshrac, and this is why the Yasha Manta style I think is a mistake. A BKB is going to be important for him in the future fights, because he's just going to get controlled up so much by the other team, by the dire side. And Ogre could go down here to the Spectre. Just the Radiance burn is going to be enough, yeah. And Darkseer as well, also at risk, gets disrupted up. Soul Catcher, and going to go down. They have some scary team fight on the dire side, and the Radiant really have to be careful of that. They went for these, like, wonky kind of late game push builds. Their builds do not mesh together. And so Wind Ranger. Man, this name is just killing me. I don't know what I say normally. Gonna ult for this tower, and DP can ult for the next tower. So this could be easily a set of Rex if Darkseer's not up to protect them, which I believe the wall is going to be one of the things that's really going to stop them if they get a Spectre Radiance of their own. This is looking pretty scary for the Radiant. Prophet's TP top, so he's not even going to be there. There's no Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit. And what do you do here? what do you do? Sure, he can go in. He phantasms after he uses Reality Rift, so that means his clones don't do anything, and he just goes down. His clones are gone as well. Ogre's dead. And they're going to get this Rax. The wall does go down from Darkseer, but it's a little bit too late with no team there. That's it. And CK confirms. I mean, that's going to be a Rax, so what are you going to do? The Aghanims from Prophet, not going to do much. Sure, he might get this tier 2, maybe if he goes and commits for it, but tier 2 for a Rax, take that trade any day. Spectre just chunking away, and there we go. Spectre might go down here. The dagger actually does allow him to, doesn't allow him to do anything. He died. Leshrac dies as well. Shadow Demon might die, but for the Rax at 24 minutes, I think that's going to be worth it. Let's see if he gets this TP. No way to cancel it, so he is out of there. Ember Spirit going to go back to farming. I don't like this Yasha. Unless you're a pro or you're a really, really high tier player, you need to get the Battle Fury. You really should not go for these alternate styles, because the Battle Fury is just so solid, it's consistent, it's anti-push, you can extend the game with it, and it can actually allow you to transition much better in the late game. You can farm much faster as well. But we'll see if he makes good use of this. Maybe they're trying to take advantage of Spectre being down, but I don't think they can get there before she's back up. And she has Haunt at the ready. Death Prophet will have her ultimate with an Octarine is actually what she went to go for. So her ult's cooling down very, very fast. And Ember's actually going back to defend the tier 3 from the Death Prophet. Interesting to see if he'll actually be able to survive against her. And he just has to run away. Spectre haunts, and they're going to be fighting in middle. Prophet TPing out, not cancelled. Ogre Magi TPing as well. He might actually go down to the right. Clicks! No, survives with the big old Spectral Dagger. Spectral Dagger going all the way across the map. Look at that, it's beautiful. B-E-A, beautiful. Prophet's ultimate still going, so no one can really touch her. Darkseer has got to run. You better run, boy. She is going to get you. But her ultimate is ending now. She does have a haste rune, though, so she can easily catch up. But Darkseer's got a blink. So he's going to get out of there. And the Shackle does not connect on Ember. He's got a TP away. With no more ways to stop him, he's just fine. Spectre starting to tank up. Went for a Vanguard, actually. Could turn into a Crimson Guard, which could be nice against the Ember Spirit later on. So, still, if that's the line of thinking, I like it. Has a Blade of Alacrity. Probably going to be going into that Diffusal. Maybe a Manta Style as well, but Spectres are often rushing Diffusal over a Manta Style. But Manta is very strong on this hero. Leshrac actually gets a Bloodstone himself. Interesting, he went for an Arcane Boots as well. That's a lot of mana regen. I don't think you can even use that much mana. But the Focus Fire and the Shackle coming out onto the CK. He's just gonna drop. Poor guy. And it is a Manta for the Ember Spirit. He's gonna Spirit back in. Or Remnant back in, sorry, and he's gonna be just fine. See, he's doing a little bit of damage, but when they're having these big team fights, or if Darkseer manages to get them, Leshrac actually is gonna die here to a multicast. But Darkseer's Vacuum is one of the best team fight abilities in the game. Bar none, like hands down. And when you have a Blink Vacuum Darkseer, you want to have other AoE abilities to combo with it. As of right now, they have none. If he gets a Battle Fury, he can almost destroy their team when he gets farmed enough to do that. And but with this Manta build, a Battle Fury is very far away. He might not even be looking for that. He might go for like a single target type DPS build, but I don't believe it's the most effective, especially with the Darkseer. Like, you have the Darkseer, you have to utilize the strengths of that hero. It's gonna be a fight on top. Stun goes out onto Death Prophet. Just gonna get whacked a little bit, but CK, he can't bring her down. She's too tanky at this point. She got a Octarine core, she's got Mech, she's got more money as well. She might go into a Shiva's, she might go into a Refresher, might go into a Heart or BKB. The possibilities are pretty wide open for her. What Spectre got flying out? It is that Diffusal Blade. And then now I expect to see maybe a Crimson Guard from her. Just becoming unstoppably tanky. See what our items for our supports are. We have a Force Staff and looks like an Axe for Shadow Demon eventually. Which can be pretty good against Chaos Knight as well as Ember Spirit. They can really slow them down and catch them. So I actually like this, as long as he's buying wards and support items, and CK dies as I'm rambling about supports. But it's actually a pretty good item if you ever get that farm on Shadow Demon. And Wind Ranger just went for the Ags, like I said earlier. It's okay. I don't love it as an offlaner. Ogre going for the Ags, definitely a good choice. That second Fire Blast is just insane. Especially with the unlimited mana. Or it's not restrained by mana. And it's a Bloodstone on the Darkseer. That's not good. That's not good. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that one. He needed to go for a mechanism for his team. And then get the Guardian Greaves eventually. But not the choice, as we have Spectre haunting in. DP gonna use her wave Leshrac stunning on a nothing. Ember Spirit still trying to get in here, but not really gonna deal any damage. Stun comes out onto Leshrac. He's fine. Turning around onto the Ogre Magi. Phantasm and Reality Rift coming in onto the Death Prophet. He chooses the tankiest target. It gets disrupted. And then CK is kind of stuck in here against 5 heroes. Tries Armlet toggling. Could he survive? Spectre actually dies. I'm not sure how she ended up going down. But all the carries and all the cores from the Radiant do die. While Death Prophet stays alive, as well as the Shrek, who's kind of transitioning into a core position at this point. And yeah, they must have thrown out a lot of stuff on the Spectre. But she did work in that fight with Radiance and her Haunt. This ult's almost down, so I don't know if they can really... They can't force high ground too much. They could pressure it a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Darkseer's here to clean up the wave. Let's see, actually Edict, I forget how much pushing power this team really has. Edict is doing work. Ogre, he should be bloodlusting the towers. Maybe he doesn't know about that just yet. But he picked Ogre, and it's 6.85, so you have to know. They got the Megas coming into middle, sorry, Supers coming into middle, and hurting their range barracks a little bit. So Ogre's got to clean that up. So just pushing in the waves. All they have to do at this point, they have the better late game, is just wait it out. CK doesn't have a BKB. His item progression, he went back for a Helm of Dominator. Not the choice, I think. I mean, he might be looking to get a Satanic, but this Naked Yasha does nothing for him, really. It needs to be a Sanjin Yasha. It needs to be a Manta. Yasha itself, you get a little bit of move and attack speed, but you could get that from a lot of other things, and it's not as beneficial as other items could be for him. I think he needs a BKB for sure, but, you know. Who am I to judge the wonderful, knowledgeable CK? And Dire here going to get the Aegis. Going to give it to Spectre, I assume. There it is. And now they can probably push the base pretty easily. I doubt the Radiant can kill Spectre twice. Especially with Death Prophet doing Death Prophet things. Going to TP top and push out. The problem with this the Nature's Prophet Ags is all these transit creates. Sure, that's great for maybe pushing the wave a little bit extra. But in the end, it's really just going to turn into food for the other team. He's not even controlling them, you can see. He's just, he can't micro that much because it's too hard. It's too hard for the micro. So he just gives up. Just AFKs them. I mean, he's gotta do this. He's doing important stuff, guys, look. Yeah. Prophet, Death Prophet, has the bots, comes in. It's a Mystic Staff, so I would assume a Shiva's, but you never know with these games, so we'll find out. And a Yule's on Lesh, I do like the Yule's a lot. I think it's a good choice. And here we go, they're going to push the second Rax. If this falls, then there's no way that Dire are going to lose this game. Ignite goes out, a triple multicast, does hit a few heroes, but at this point in the game, not doing a ton of damage. The slow is the more important component. Bloodlust on the Ember Spirit, not a big buff for him. Vacuum Wall, the wall is a little bit off the vacuum though. And Ember's not there with the Battle Fury to help clean up, so the follow-up's not there. Spectre getting low, but really he's got an Aegis. So he's going to come right back, even with the multicast. Prophet going to go down as well to the lightning from the Shrek. Ember going to go down. No, Remnants away and gets out alive. Prophet decides to TP back because CK actually manages to get a ranged Rax in mid, and he's hacking away at this melee, but he's probably going to end up going down for his for his efforts. Alliance is strong on the Radiant team today. They've got a CK, they've got a Prophet, they're doing the rat with the CK. Let's see what are we... Okay, we're finally going into a Battle Fury. Thank you, baby Jesus. But it's way too late. It's going to come in like 7 minutes at this... actually, no, hold on. Let me do some mental math. Probably like 3 or 4 minutes. Because his farm is going to decrease so much because the super creeps are giving him much less gold, and he can't leave his base to farm as much. Yeah, the Bloodstone, it doesn't do anything for Darkseer. You don't need that much mana regen. It doesn't help his team. Darkseer is very much a team player. Doesn't do anything for him. Ogre wanted to get in there and kill the creep, but he might die for that. No, they're not going to punish him too much. They look like they want to push in mid, but if they do, they really want to then transfer up the top. A Maelstrom now in one drainer, and that's what you want to see. So, as an offlaner, she's starting to transition into a more of a core role, which is really nice. We have Ember. He can kind of clear up these creep waves. The Ion Shell is helping a lot. Prophet ult bouncing through, makes some trees that get insta-killed. Oh, more trees that are not being microed. There we go. Look at them go. They're doing it. Okay. Yeah. Shackle does not connect. Remnant away. Ping's going out onto the DP. Yep, it's a Shiva's Guard. Ogre getting close to that Aghanim Scepter. CK, no more item progression really. Ember trying to hold them back. Self-heals by Lesh, not really worth it, I don't think. The Spectre ultimate comes out, the Haunt. Let's roll back a little bit and see what happens here. Death Prophet is just doing work. No one can even touch her. She is going to town on the Nature's Prophet. Wind Ranger actually getting quite low. She goes down to CK with the Reality Rift and some crits. Death Prophet is getting kind of low in the danger zone from CK, and she actually gets taken down, which is surprising, but that leaves Spectre open to do the work, and he kills CK. And it's going to be a buyback coming out from CK while they're working on these top racks. The Vacuum finally does come out from the Darkseer, looking to catch the Spectre, but the Spectral Dagger away might save his life. Leshrac going down in the middle of the Radiant base, and the death out there from him. We'll shoot out some heals. Actually, that was the Darkseer dying, and Shadow Demon going down to a multi, and Spectre going down to some multis, and a long stun from the Chaos Knight. So all in all, RNG working out for the Radiant side, but it was a buyback, and it was a death on all their cores. And their base is getting ravaged by creeps. So things are not looking hot for the Radiant side. Although I am surprised they held their racks. I am very surprised. I didn't think they would be able to do that. Ogre trying viciously to hold off. Wow, he got... Oh my god, let me look at these graphs real quick. Where is gold? I guess it hasn't updated yet, but he just finished his act. I looked at it like 2 minutes ago. From that fight alone, he must have gotten at least 2k gold. He could start looking for like a sheep stick or something else to help them win these team fights. Darkseer, is he going for anything else? Maybe a Force, maybe a Yules. CK finishes up his Manta. It's okay. Still think BKB is the way to go. Desolator on Prophet. Still has the rat capabilities. Only level 16. So no level 3 ultimate yet. Battle Fury now done on the Ember Spirit. That's going to be a big pickup. This is going to be the tool that lets them really prolong the game. Prophet ultimate plus Sleight of Fist with a Battle Fury on Ember. But Boots of Travel coming out for the Dire side. Diffusal 2 now for Spectre. I'm still zoomed out. Let me zoom back in. And they're looking to push in again. Death Prophet on her way to a heart. She is very tanky. I think a Ghost... I don't know. See, it's a BKB could also be huge for her. That means no Ogre stuns. That means no CK stuns. That means no Ember Spirit Chains. That means no Darkseer Vacuum. Oh wow, lots of multis coming out. Does about half of her HP, but Ogre's out here now and getting focus fired by the Windrunner after a Shackle, and he is dead. And Ember comes out to try and help him out. Could be his death as well. A Haunt coming in. Are they going to actually turn and fight off of this? I don't think this Haunt is the cue to go. Yeah, they're going to wait for it. CK died to Spectre, so that is the cue to go now. With the Death Prophet up and an Invis Rune, he can just sit here and have fun, chilling. I mean, what can they do? Radiant Arcana, SOL. And the Mega Creeps are here. So, that's about it. 4 staff away from Darkseer, but it's too late. He's surging into the base. He's got to run. Disruption on to the Lesh. This is biding his time, but he might... Nope. Gonna live with 100 HP. And they're taking down the Tier 4 towers, the Radiant side. So they are going to look like take this game. So this was my first pubcast I've done in a long time. I think the first one I'll be uploading to the YouTubes. And so hopefully you guys liked it. My voice is a little bit hoarse today. I didn't have enough water before, or while casting. So if you liked it, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And leave any constructive criticism you have in the comments, all that stuff. I know my camera work needs some work, but I'm not sure exactly who I can talk to improve that stuff. So if you know anyone, or you know how to make camera work smoother, let me know. I would be delighted to hear that, and I will see you guys next time. Later.